Okay, so I want to talk about Bitcoin and Mara stock because they're holding strong. The short-term support for Mara stock has been holding well for the small accumulation I mentioned in a previous update. And then from yesterday, short-term resistance holding very nicely on Bitcoin. So I'm going to cover that as well. Let's get Mara out the way because we're still in a trading week. And I thought the market was closed today for Columbus Day, but I guess not. And that's absolutely fine. No transactions today though. But short-term resistance on Mars stock held. If you guys remember, I kept saying the 120 average overlapping with short-term yellow. Yellow indicating again, if you guys are new, red accumulation. Usually blue and green are profit taking, but in this case, yellow is just caution area. Light accumulation potential, not being very aggressive or greedy when it comes to short-term profit taking. We are back at $20. Not a whole lot of strength right here, although the R side didn't max out. Quite simple though. My opinion on Mars stock has not changed, guys. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Nothing has changed. I'm still waiting for a solid shorting opportunity. And I remember, if you guys remember, I kept saying I don't want to short right now. It's not worth it. I'm interested in seeing if we can max this area out a bit more because the strike price for me at 2050 at a minimum is what I'm looking for. 2050 strike with usually like a week or two long expiration is absolutely acceptable for me. But let's see if we can retest this 1.236 at 2185. A lot more attractive to capture some 2150 strikes for shorting Mara because I believe we already hit take profit. The stock did what it had to do. It did it, right? Which is from accumulation up to take profit, very very similar to the previous accumulation to take profit. If anyone was even like following along with that trade, like congrats because you absolutely killed it with those profits. But do remember, everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. Please do your own research and due diligence. I always like to share with you guys what I'm doing, and if it's up to you whether or not you want to follow these trades, that's completely up to you. You're responsible for your own trades here. But we had another accumulation zone trying to time a bottom. Worked out perfectly as well within the median 1. 1.38, 1.236 extensions around 19 or 960 and 1050 went up straight to the take profit of the value area. I always give these ahead of time too. I always give accumulation and take profit zones ahead of time. We keep track of these higher low potentials, caution areas. So right here, another higher low potential caution area. But so far, take profit over here, accumulation worked out perfectly. What I am looking for now is a broader correction. Rather not we go down into accumulation once again, which is why I want to short. It's very likely, at least in my opinion, strong resistance right here. This, of course, is going to be highly influenced with expectations in the market with the Fed's balance sheet and all that. But how this directly is correlating with Bitcoin is not at all. I always say, don't trade Mara based off of Bitcoin. Trade it based off of its own chart, but understand that it can still have an influence, but not as much as, for example, MSTR. And that one isn't even that correlated either. But just to make it simple, super quick update because I want to do a recap on Bitcoin. I'm just chilling right now. We're above 20 once again, but I'm just letting this do its thing because as long as we're holding this short-term support, it's possible we can still max this area out. Although ideally, in order for me to want to take a trade right now, I want to see a break of structure to the downside. It's not good enough to short it right now, at least in my opinion, because if you factor in from the top of the wick, 2205 basically, down to the bottom right here, we're still within short-term resistance. We have an opportunity to see if it's going to hold a short-term higher low. So there's a lot of what ifs. So my trade plan, and if you guys know, I'm super strict with it because I would rather set myself up for success than to be hopeful. So I'm waiting to see if we're gonna have a breaker structure to the downside or if we're gonna revisit these premium levels once again. So I'm looking to short. I would like to grab those 2050 strikes, but if we can grab 21 or above strikes, that'll be perfect. The higher up we go, the shorter for the duration. So if we happen to go up here once again before the week ends, I'm looking for next week's Friday expiration. for these contracts. But until then, I'm just going to continue to let it do its thing. And remember, guys, it's always worth keeping an eye on the VIX with like UVXY, for example. Um, there's always good hedging opportunities. So if you guys remember, like I always kept saying, if we go further up into short-term resistance like we did right here, any potential weakness usually amplifies in the overall market, and then we just see the VIX pop up like crazy. Just like if Bitcoin falls, it amplifies Mara stock to the downside. But there's always good hedging opportunities. The VIX still has some more room to run, so it just depends on whether or not we are going to see the S&P fall more. It's looking real attractive right now. I do believe the chances of this recovering are much higher than it having a lower low from this wick. Again, a lot of this aggressive fear selling we've been seeing in the market lately has been due to external factors, just a bunch of emotion in a lot of these investors. So why not take advantage of it to make some money, right? It's as simple as that. And we have a FOMC coming up soon. Expectations, another rate cut, 0.25%. Just because super weak jobs market, there's no reason to be like super feared about it. But the question is, and this is what I would prefer, is if we can see continued discounted prices, so continued weakness into this FOMC, will avoid what we saw last time, which was the market is factoring in the announcement of a 0.25 rate cut. So we saw everyone was expecting a rise because it's a rate cut. No, if the market factors in these economic news or these economic data and announcements, if it's factored in already, a lot of that short-term money as quickly as it went in, it will easily come out. There's like no reason to be to overthink it, at least in my opinion. That's how I see it. Like if it's being factored in, the short-term premium, there's no reason to be hopeful, guys. Just understand how a lot of this short-term value works, right? As quickly as the money flew into the market, it can easily flow out. So it's all about position sizing and understanding the likelihood of these fluctuations. So if we continue to see, and I'm going to go over Bitcoin now because I already gave you guys my opinion on Mara. I'm just being patient with it. But when it comes to this active position, I showed you guys like 2 videos ago, I put $50,000 into IBIT with the intentions of beginning a swing trade. I want to invest a lot more into it, but not directly into IBIT. I'm going to get into this in a moment. So there's way more details about this in yesterday's video. And then like 2 weeks ago, I released a video going over my strategy. So if you guys want to understand why I'm being very patient this far into the year, just remember, if you look at that strategy video like from 2 weeks ago, there's core positions and there's short-term positions. If you guys watch that video, you will understand where the majority of my money came from this year. It's all about those core positions. That's where the majority of my profits always come from. Short-term trading is just to give those core positions an energy drink basically and still stay active in the market. So right now I'm pretty much set. I made more than I care for already with those core positions. I mean, Bitcoin has killed it this year. The S&P killed it this year. There's no reason for me to over leverage myself this far, especially since Bitcoin already hit that first overall bull market extension at 114.5k. I like the moment we hit that target, I was already out like at least half of it. And I showed you guys 2024's core position. I did document that one quite a bit. I haven't been documenting it this year just because, again, I don't want anyone to compare, or I really don't want anyone to have any kind of like influence on anything. We're going over the charts, and that's all I care about. To show you guys, right? If you guys know what I'm doing, you guys know what's up. But we're gonna be more active on the Discord and talk about stuff starting in 2026. Like it's gonna be real active on there. A lot of updates, new stuff coming out. But when it comes to Bitcoin, I said in yesterday's video, right? The ideal scenario is because we broke short-term support, rather or not, it does not matter that it was due to external factors. The idea is that short-term support broke, but we did hit that, price line. We broke into it, so it was fair enough to open that IBIT position 50k. Right now it's pretty much flat. What I'm looking for is for this to extend more, because if we broke below support, chances are we're going to come down into the short-term deep value starting at 107K. 107K to 93.6K, that's the range. In this range, I want to add BitU alongside IBIT, because that's how I plan to really leverage and build up for the next move up. We have the 128K price target we have not hit yet. So there are still some time to capture discounted prices below 120K. I said this quite a bit for the last few months. Anything, in my opinion, below 120K in Bitcoin is amazing, because we have one more solid leg up to complete this bull market at a minimum. So I'm just not overthinking this. We don't have any signs of a bear market. There's no weakness whatsoever. I mean, regardless, you guys already know what the Fed's gonna do. They're forced to cut. They're forced to cut rates. They're forced to print and water down the USD more. So like, there's just no reason to think about it too much. But when it comes to short-term fluctuations, we do have this super short-term micro support to keep an eye on. Quite simply, we're gonna make it yellow. It's a caution area. It's a potential for a higher low, but the reason I'm making it a caution area is because I'm expecting one more low. I want to see, we broke support. I want to see the price come down. I mean, we were trading within these ranges, accumulation ranges, for a while, and we went straight up into value, or this value gap take profit area as well for any short-term trades. But the thing is, I'm making this yellow because there is a potential for a low to form here, and we can start working our way higher. But I did call out in yesterday's video, I said, hey, at any moment we can find short-term resistance within the blue. Basically, it's a retracement zone from the swing high to the swing low. If this continues to hold valid, as long as we hold this, or as long as we're holding this swing low potential for this higher low, we have the potential of going up higher. I'm not expecting it though. I'm expecting, most realistically, for us to form one more low, break this swing low, break these September lows that everyone is like being really hopeful about. If we break, and this is the ideal scenario, if that happens, I can finally add to BitU. I haven't been able to open a full position yet because we just keep hitting short-term resistance. If you've been watching recent videos, I've been doing a lot of like day trades and a lot of like, to the next day's swing trades, because we keep hitting short-term resistances and I keep taking profit on them. I'm not like complaining because I'm still making money on it, but the thing is, I bought in here, opened with the idea of accumulating IBIT here, with the idea of accumulating BitU here, but we hit short-term resistance. I sold and I documented it for you guys. Finally, if we have the opportunity to break support, I can accumulate BitU down here, really build up this position for the 128K price target. And just like in a lot of previous short-term deep value purple areas, how I like to color code them, every time we break in these zones, the reversal opportunity for it coming out of it back out is super quick. It can happen very, very quickly. So I'm not going to really be like, I'm not going to overthink it. If the plan is BitU between 90 and 107K, that's the plan. Now, if I'm wrong on it, I still make profit. If I'm wrong on it, ideally I want to do that because it can maximize the position properly, based on my own risk tolerance. But the thing is, if we hold a higher low actually, and then we start breaking up higher, I will be locking in some profit on IBIT. If we end up breaking micro swing highs and we start pushing up higher, closer to this all-time high, because even if we start going higher, it can be an overshooting wave on what could be a extensive sideways consolidation. Because look, we've been trading sideways. Yeah, we're making higher highs right here, and we haven't made a lower low, but we're trading sideways. If we go up to 120K and we start trading 122K, 123, 124, it does not matter. We can still see large fluctuations, movement sideways. Until we have a break of structure all-time high, then I am not interested in holding this swing trade for longer than that. So that's the idea. We're either accumulating BitU, leveraging the IBIT position within 107K and below, or if the price ends up just popping higher due to potential anticipation for the FOMC, then, well, well, I'm not going to be greedy with it. I'm going to be taking profit because chances are it can be factoring in the announcement that we're all expecting. Like, hopefully this video made sense, guys. Ideally, if we continue in discounted price ranges, it will give me an opportunity to accumulate BitU, but it will also give us the opportunity for the FOMC to be announced without the market actually factoring in what is, high probability of a 0.25 rate cut, right? So discounted is good. Any price appreciation prior to that, I just, in my opinion, I think it's a good idea to be very, very cautious with that and keep an eye on your position sizing. Like, it's really as simple as that. We've been doing that multiple times this year, multiple times last year. It's always the same thing. So let's see how this next one goes, but quite simple. Discounted ranges, I'll continue to accumulate. Any early appreciation, I'm locking in profit. I do not care. Watch that strategy video like from 2 weeks ago if you guys want to know what trades I can have in the background. The core positions I balance every 1 to 2 times a year, and that's where the majority of that cash flow comes from, guys. It's all about capturing the overall move for me, but also capturing those short-term swing trades for a nice little energy drink to the portfolio, right? It's as simple as that, guys. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one, and we got some good stuff coming up soon, so stay tuned.